Please welcome to the stage your next storyteller, Cindy Shore Smith, everybody.
Our children live in Seattle, and we grew up in the age of Aquarius. Put those things together, and you get two 60-year-olds and their son on their way to Uncle Ike's, whose toll-free number is 1-800-GET-WEED. We enjoyed smoking pot back in the day, but abstained and denied until our children were grown. If you've never been to one of these legal cannabis outlets, it's a real experience. Gleaming glass cases beckon with every form of smokable and edible THC. Helpful clerks called bud tenders await your questions. This day's specials are written on a giant whiteboard, and for $1, you can buy a machine-rolled joint in a neat little package. Like cartoon characters with light bulbs over our heads, we decided that we, two law-abiding, almost senior citizens, would fool federal law enforcement and mail an exciting package back to Georgia. Our son had said to use a fake return address, pay cash, and don't ship it priority mail. Well, I waited outside while my better half went in. And I waited, and I waited. Finally, I went in, and he was sending it priority. I quietly reminded him of the rules, and he shushed me. Not a fan of the shushing. Back outside, he said, well, it was the same price and it was faster. It seems suspicious not to do it. Well, did you at least pay cash? Well, no, they don't take cash for priority mail. Now, by this time, I'm scared and I'm furious. And I'm not thinking clearly, but I decide that he needs to go back in there and tell them he forgot to put something in the box and get that package back. Now, was I trying to mitigate disaster or just punishing him for being such a bad listener? It's really not possible to say now, so it's best we don't dwell on that. Well, while my husband / co-conspirator went back inside, I contemplated life on the inside. Would we each get a prison term or just him? It doesn't make sense for both of us to go, does it? Who would feed the cat? When he came back out with the package, I could say none of what I was thinking because I had spent the last several minutes making bargains with the Almighty, and he had held up his end. Days went by, and nobody mentioned the boomer weed fiasco. But one day before departure, our cannabinoid elephant in the room demanded attention. This time, we would go to an unmanned post office kiosk. We would pay cash and ship the package just before getting on the light rail to go to the airport to come home. Our millennial expert signed off on this plan, so I felt pretty good about it. But this was during the height of COVID, and when we got there, it was closed. We couldn't get on that train with this box, seeing as our final destination was filled with federal agents. So, like bad guys in a lame movie, we looked all around and placed the box in an empty trash bin, with the plan to have our child/accomplice come and get it later. But when he got there, it was gone. Had somebody seen us and taken it? Had the trash gotten emptied right after we walked away? We'll never know. Back home, we were bummed to have lost $100, but relieved to have dodged any real trouble, and plenty irritated about current marijuana laws. I sadly cleaned out my backpack. I reached my hand in and it found a small, slim, hard plastic case. I knew immediately what it was. A pre-rolled joint that I carried through 2 airports. The universe always gets the last laugh.
Give it up for a criminal mastermind, Cindy Shore Smith.